There's an opportunity for anyone to address the council. While we won't respond or engage in discussion during this portion of the meeting, we may follow up afterward if appropriate. If you'd like to speak, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and limit your remarks to 3 minutes.
My name's Richard Vaughn. I live at 1416 Kingswood Drive in Fulton. I'm here representing VFW again this year for our 4th of July ball. I handed out a brief little thing. I'll talk about it a little bit. Since this is a special year this year, the VFW is considering trying to make this 4th of July festivity more of an all-day event. We're looking to bring in some food trucks, also have a band to play in the park this year, along with some fireworks. We're hoping to do something more special this year with the fireworks. So I'm here to ask the city to support us again this year. We also would like to have a closure of 10th Street from State Street to the entrance on the north end, just in between that block. We'd like to get it closed off and park the food trucks out there. Have any other questions, I'll try to answer.
We will get to that when we hit new business, Mr. Vaughn.
We do have a section. We do have a part under new business where we're discussing this.
Okay.
If you would like to stick around.
I will.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much. All right. Next is the consent agenda, which includes the following items. City Council meeting minutes from March 24, 2026 and April 14, 2026. An event request for the Walsworth Company Picnic, which will occur on June the 6th. An event request for the Independence Day Parade, which will occur on July the 4th. And an event request for the Callaway County Crop Hunger Walk, which will occur on October 11th. Does anyone want to make a motion to approve the consent agenda or have any issues?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Any discussion? Okay. No worries. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. We have no consent agenda items for discussion, which brings us to the presentation and acceptance of the March Department DOA report.
All right, thank you, Deputy Mayor. I appreciate that very much. In March, we had a pretty busy month, excuse me. So a few things I want to highlight from my report, and then as usual, our city staff are here and available to answer questions. But I do want to bring a little bit of a spotlight again to the grand opening of HWI's lightweight monolithic facility. We certainly had a group of council members that were there for that grand opening, and I think that made a huge impression and showed a lot of community support. So thank you to those of you who were able to attend. It was an honor to be able to speak at that event, and we're always appreciative of not only our partners at HWI, but our partners at the Chamber as well, who were part of that. Additionally, we had a number of staff members and members of the Public Utility Board who attended the annual IMGA conference in Springfield, Illinois. It's always a very informative conference, and a lot of long-term planning considerations were brought up at that conference as well. So just a couple things that were really big during the month of March, but again, if you have any questions on my report or anything for the staff, we are here to answer those for you.
A second. Any discussion? All those in favor? So please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Yeah, I'm getting the swing of it. All right. The March DOA report is accepted as presented. Okay, we're now to the presentation and acceptance of the March financial statement.
Andy Johnson, CFO. The City of Fulton has recorded 2 months of sales tax in 2026. Collections are up 1.9% from fiscal year 2025. Use tax is down 15.2% from fiscal year 2025. March included 2 payroll cycles. And overall performance remains in line with expectations, and we will continue to monitor trends throughout the year. You guys have had a chance to look at the statement. Does anybody have any questions?
I have one question personally. So on the first page, I noticed under our loans, 1303 Westminster, which is our warehouse, we have a balance as of the end of February of $100,000.
Yep,
That's
it's gonna be-
awesome.
It's gonna be paid off in June, I believe.
Paid off in June.
Yep,
So
and Daryl and I were thinking about doing some kind of a, something.
we need to have something, yes, some recognition of that.
Yes.
A mortgage burning, if nothing else. Okay, great. Anyone else have any questions?
I have one. First of all, I want to say, I really like how you've got this formatted. It makes it very easy to read. On page 5, there is capital outlay, and we're at 90.32% of budgeted.
Oh, on the airport. We had an encumbrance for the big airport project that's going out there, and I think it happened in March, so that's gonna be mainly that whole budget.
Okay.
That's pretty much what was budgeted. for that.
It just kind of stuck out then. I was
Yeah, it does. Yep, it was the big airport project. I think it was
Okay.
5 or 600,000.
All right. That's the only question I had.
Anyone else? I'll entertain that motion.
I moved that. Oh, okay. I'll second it.
Any further discussion of that motion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. The March financial statement is declared accepted. Okay, we have no unfinished business at this time. So brings us to new business. All right, the new business is, we have representatives from VFW Post 2657 with us tonight. VFW is requesting financial support approval for closure of a portion of East 10th Street and permission for food truck sales for 4th of July firework event. Any, if you'd like to come back up, Mr. Vaughn. So, you're requesting, trying to have an all-day event since it's the 250th, great. Wanting to bring food trucks in, and you said you wanted to close off part of 10th Street from State to where?
Yeah, actually, we want to leave State Street open and the entrance into the park
Okay,
and close it off right where that little creek crosses
okay,
up to the driveway of the golf course.
okay, country club,
And set the food trucks along the edge of the road, not out in it in case we need ambulances or emergency vehicles up there. But then the entrances into the park would all stay open, or not to traffic, but for people to do. The band would probably set up in the amphitheater area
at the park,
at the park.
okay,
And I say an all-day deal, I mean, essentially starting off at noon till
after the parade.
And Mr. Vaughn, I know you put this in your request, but I just wanted to clarify. The goal for the increased contribution that you're seeking is to add to the fireworks display, with this being the 250th celebration, is that correct?
Yes, it is, and.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's-
With the band also.
That's the basis of the 5,000 then?
Yes.
And will that cover it?
No, that never covers the fireworks deal, but we get other donations, and we've already started collecting donations early this year because of that. And we do have some individuals that's donated, and we got some commitments from different construction people that willing to step up too, so. But
Mr. Vaughn?
we've always done it with our,
Could you possibly give us an estimate of the grand total of your fireworks?
the fireworks usually run 11 to 12,000.
But we're hoping for more this year, right? Or is that where you're gonna, is that your cap?
That's what it had been
Okay.
in the past. We plan on going a little over that this year, so the very end, we'll have something maybe a little better than we've had in the past.
Mr. Vaughn, could you refresh our memories? Last year, what, did we give you 2,500? What was the amount from last year?
Yes, it's 25.
That's what okay, so we're asking an increase to 5,000, is that correct?
Yeah, just,
Yes.
I mean, that's hopefully for
Yeah.
just this year.
Okay. We're just this year.
We're wanting to do something different.
So I move that we fund $5,000, and if he needs more, he may come back again to ask it if he can't get the support. So let's go with the 5,000, and so I move that we give the VFW $5,000 for the fireworks.
I don't have any problem with the 5,000, but asking for more, that's where I have the problem. I think that we should be, that we asking, they're giving that increase. I don't have any problem with supporting that. And before we vote on it, trying to get a bearing on State Street, is that in front of the next,
State Street is that street right in front of Legends. And
That-
so it's
that's
not
right.
going to go quite that far. It's going to go essentially right between the Country Club Drive and the drive to get into the park. Is that right? Okay.
Okay,
So
thank
that
you.
way they can still get safely into the country club for the display. Fire can get in and out. And then individuals who are going to be watching the display will be able to safely get in and out of the park as well.
Okay, thank you. I know in the times past, during Juneteenth, we had the food trucks up on that State Street. But I got an idea where it's at now. Thank
They
you,
were
appreciate it.
gonna have-
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Richard.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Any other questions regarding the funding? Don't leave yet. Please, the funding for any other discussion on the funding? All right, all those in favor?
All right.
Say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Yeah, we had a motion and a second for the funding.
To clarify really quickly, it was,
Who made the second motion? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
and that motion was for $5,000 with the option to potentially come back if he needed additional funding.
If you need additional.
So that would be what you're voting on now.
Right. Okay, everybody knows what we're voting on, $5,000, okay? All those in favor, we did this already, we'll do it again. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, thank you. So we still,
And I'd like to make
we
a
still had to
motion,
talk about the closing of the street and the approval of using the truck, of the trucks on public property, selling.
so I'd like to make a motion for that. I'd like to make a motion for the closing off of 10th Street and using the trucks for public property.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion there? Okay, would any of the food trucks possibly go into Veterans Park, or is that, are you just?
We would rather them just stay on 10th Street,
Right.
Okay,
you know, there, and then the band would be physically in the park.
okay, that's why I didn't know if we might. have
And
some-
that's one of the reasons we asked to have the 10th Street
Okay,
closed to traffic on just that section.
all right. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion declared passed, thank you.
Richard,
Yeah.
Richard, before you,
VFW appreciates this.
Thank you,
Well,
Richard.
we appreciate all you do for us.
Richard, I thank you. I appreciate the VFW. We got a lot of good men at the VFW, and they're in support of our community, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, that is all our new business, so we'll move on to council concerns, beginning with Councilman Combs.
Yes, Deputy Mayor, the Planning and Zoning Commission has not met since our last meeting. So I don't have anything new to add there. In terms of concerns, I've just got a couple of things. One, just kind of a thank you and a shout out to the members of the police department that were at the prom this past weekend. I don't know if an email has come through, but one of the students asked for a card, send an email for speaking about how great it was to have them there and that they were engaging with them. And so I just wanted to make sure we publicly said something because they appreciated that, and even got a couple of them to put costumes on for a photo. So it was kind of fun just to see the kids actually engaging. I do. Not with me. Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay,
The second one, is just, it's that time of year where we gotta kind of focus on the mowing, in neighborhoods. I know, with a lot of this rain, I've been noticing mowing and yard waste has diverted a lot more water into the road when people haven't taken care of mowing their yards or, leaves. And the most notably, I know of a couple places where leaves clogged up drains and, in yards, like the culverts, and then forced those leaves or water out on the road where it kind of made it hazardous. And then I guess my third one was just a thank you to the staff that really worked on the cleaning up of all the debris and stuff after the storm that we had couple Fridays ago. I haven't heard whether it's actually been classified as a tornado as it goes through our town. All the diagrams seem to say it stopped, but it knocked over a ton of trees,
yes.
which was kind of just a question. And I know I mentioned this earlier in an email, but like if we could get a kind of a synopsis of what actually happened to our town so that the general public understands like what the city took on, and maybe what else we've seen and noticed. Because I know every time I drive Westminster, I see more. And I know there's a lot of some trees that almost hit houses. And so I know we're thankful they did not hit houses, but also just caring for that whole stretch of land there. I'm sure they impacted the city in some way too.
Mr. Dunlap, Mr. Hedges, and Mr. Singh, could you guys come up and provide a little bit of an update on what your departments did in regards to that storm and the cleanup?
Yeah, don't everybody run up at once.
The first, as soon as the storm started, we had officers out patrolling the area looking for any threats to the community, trees that were down. We were able to call them out to the utility department, street department, fire department. I went out in my POV, or my personal vehicle, was driving around trying to make sure we didn't have any huge threats and just helping locate trees that were down and things like that. I believe there was a report from the National Weather Service that said it was VF0 tornado that actually struck the north end of town. So it was an actual tornado. But that's what, as far as the police department, that's what we did. And we did have the street light or stoplights went out at Industrial and North Bluff. They directed traffic there until the stop signs, MoDOT could get stop signs put out to handle that four-way intersection. So, yes, there was a deputy sheriff out there that saw the rotation that he reported, and that was relayed to the radio.
I saw, thank you. All right,
Russell Singh, Fire Chief. So we had 17 calls, I believe, in right at an hour, mainly for trees down, power lines down, trees in roadways. During the tornado warning, contacted the guys, didn't want them out in the warning, but by the time I got a hold of them, we were out of the warning. So we all went out and was removing trees that were blocking the roadway. Called utilities, they came, and they also, in street department, really got in and helped with those. We made sure everything, you know, no live power lines were down, stuff like that, and just call the call. So that's about all we've had. So.
all right.
Yeah, I was out of town, so I was on the phone with Courtney and Micah Harris. Micah Harris, over the electric department, he always amazes me because you can have something coming through, and he's giving me a report of over by the the area just west of the power plant where the pole yard is and the archery range. He goes, I just found a pole. It's still hot. It's, you know, the wire's about 12 feet off the ground. Mike is always so calm. You know, it's like, if you ever call me and you're freaking out, this is going to be a bad day. But we took some damage at the airport, Hangar 13, which has not been rented, and we're trying to figure out exactly what to do with it. You know, do you tear it down? Do you reconstruct it? The roof went off of it. There was a lot of trees down in William Woods and in that section of town. That section is what got hit probably the worst. We had scattered outages. Everybody's back on. Everybody, I mean, the folks that work for the city, they came through just like they always do.
Yep.
And I think Jeremy Poston was out at the airport working, and Mike has said before he left to go back home, he's going to check on Jeremy and see if Jeremy needed anything. So, I mean, they all work together so good. You can't tell there's Department A and Department B. It's just the city.
And that's great. That's a testament to our city staff. I have noticed, you know, some of the trees that were down, people are still cutting them up, putting them up next to the, you know, for pickup for yard waste, but that was this week, but I think I'm still seeing some out.
There's still some out there. A lot of us disappeared over the weekend.
Okay.
The dumpsters out the warehouse were totally full Monday.
Okay.
We dumped them Monday and they're filling up again.
Okay.
So
So you
I'm
guys are
thinking
still
some
out
people
collecting?
didn't take it because there wasn't any place to put it, but we've been trying to keep those dumpsters empty so they could take stuff out. Or they can call solid waste and ask, you know, for a pickup, so.
Do we still have the drop off at the fire station on Tennyson?
Not for
No.
limbs, no.
Okay.
Limbs are just at the warehouse. There's 3
Okay.
dumpsters out in front of the warehouse that are not behind the fence that residents of the city can use whenever
Okay.
they need to for yard waste.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Could have been a lot worse, and I think we came out pretty well.
Yes.
Hey, Gerald, again, before you leave, there was a group of men who from the Southwest Baptist disaster crew. They were going around and getting checking with people that, you know, basically couldn't get the stuff and cutting up stuff for them, and they were putting it near the road. Is there any movement on
Well,
that or anything like that?
I think that was starting kind of vetted through the county emergency, and they're giving us the addresses of those volunteers that
Yeah.
came in and, you know, did the work that
Sure,
you're
yeah.
talking about.
Oh, were they going to be
Michelle-
picking those?
Michelle Kidwell's been working with the city, and she is, I guess, I'm gonna say vetted that they were volunteers doing anything.
I think that's a great thing whenever in the city of Fulton, if we have a storm like that, we're here to serve and help the people in our community, and that's a great thing. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Courtney, you good?
Yeah, I think you guys covered it all. Now, obviously, kind of like you're saying, Councilman Combs, there were a lot of homes and private residences and areas that were impacted, a lot of trees that were down. A lot of those have been cleaned up, but kind of like you're saying, Deputy Mayor, there are certainly still some areas I think that we'll have to see some attention. But unfortunately, we don't have a good way necessarily of tracking individual property damage, since that doesn't necessarily go through the city, but we certainly know when we saw those trees and sheds, things like that. So, but thank you again to you guys and your staff. You do a great job. And again, they were on it. And I very much appreciate the attention to detail of not going out in the middle of the storm, keeping everybody safe as well.
Absolutely. You know, my point was, I'm still seeing it out there, and my question was, are we still picking that up? So, okay, thank you. Councilman Combs, you have anything else?
That's it for this time. I just wanted to say thank you again to all the staff that were involved in that, because that was probably a big undertaking.
Absolutely. Did we have anything last night?
Yes.
I don't think it even got to us, did it?
Nothing of significance. Obviously, we had a lot of rain over yesterday, different areas of localized flooding, but those are being addressed, so nothing substantial to report.
Okay, thank you. Tis the season for that, I guess. Councilman Coward?
I was impressed with the attendance at the Carver Park groundbreaking, and I applaud the council and the staff for moving forward on that whole sensory area.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice view when I drive by every day coming to town from what was there and the improvements. I was also pleased with a number of council members that attended the community forum. This school attendance problem was pretty well defined as being a parent problem, not getting elementary kids to school. I know several school officials spoke to that, and Chief Lagwig spoke to that. So I don't know what the solution is, but I think jointly we all can kind of figure out a solution over a period of time. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Hanson.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to reiterate that the Historical Preservation Commission had the Pride and Preservation Awards program earlier this month, and to congratulate Carmen Brandt for winning that award, and also for the Carver Apartment project, because that was just a really great housing project in our community. There is an upcoming Community Conversations Day happening with Central Missouri Community Action, and it is going to be held on May 6th at First Baptist Church. And it's a great day to meet lots of organizations that work within our county and to talk about problems and what kinds of task forces might need to be implemented in the near future. So I'd love to have some council people there or anyone.
What time is that?
It's an all-day thing. I believe it starts at 8:30, and it's with Central Missouri Community Action, but I can get some more information on the times and
Okay, great, thank you.
on the schedule. So
Anything else?
that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Hinchy.
We have not had a public safety commission meeting last week, I would like to reiterate our utility workers and city workers and
You're not, microphones. Microphone.
I'd like to reiterate all the hard work that our city workers and utility workers and police and fire did during these storms. And I would also like to ask people, you know, as tempting as it is, when these storms are going around, go down in your basement. Don't go driving around and making yourself in the way of the people that are doing the work. Please respect them and let them do their work and stay home. And you can drive around after it's over, but don't drive around while it's going on. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Riordan.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I don't know if this council knows, but Callaway County and Fulton has a community choir. And it will be my last concert, May the 3rd and May the 7th, as director of the Callaway Singers. And I'd like to invite all of you, because I've been doing it for 20 years, and I don't believe I've ever seen a council member at one of our choir concerts. So I would like to openly invite you all to attend.
Third and what?
May the 3rd, Sunday, May the 3rd at 2 o'clock at the Brick District Playhouse, and Thursday, May the 7th at 7 o'clock at the Brick District Playhouse.
Anything else?
I'm finished.
Thank you. Councilwoman.
Yes, good evening. It was a tornado as far as I'm concerned. And the reason was, over my house, I'm south, it came through, and we went to the basement. We always do, have all our little radios and all the little things that we needed, and we were very fortunate. No one was hurt, and I'm agreeing with everyone else. This community is awesome. I'm not born and raised here, but I love my little community, and I tell you what, this bunch works together. And I just want to thank everyone in the city that helped each other. And that is exactly what our world needs right now. It's just people to care. And I just want to thank all of you in our area, Callaway County, all of us. Thank you very much for being such good people. And that's really all I have tonight.
Thank you. Councilman Washington.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I know the Park Board had a meeting. I'm not able to attend on those Wednesdays. We're going to ask if director of the parks will come up and share any highlights, any points that we need to be aware of what's coming up. And I appreciate her doing this.
Charlene McArthur, Parks and Rec Superintendent. I'm sorry, Bob, I was looking back at the date of when the park board meeting was last. We did hold a park board meeting on Wednesday, April the 15th. We did meet quorum. We discussed several different things. One of the items that we discussed was highlighting, we have a wall of legends, and the concept of the wall of legends at the facility is to highlight people of honor in our community. That's kind of how the building's name originated, was this concept to highlight significant people in the community and honor them on the wall at Legends. Nothing has kind of progressed or developed over the years since the building has opened, so we kind of made a point to push that forward. So they did nominate 2 individuals that I will bring to the council next meeting and kind of highlight and give you guys information on those 2. Another item that we discussed is we have entered an acceptance to utilize SurveyMonkey to gather some information in the community to get feedback to develop a new 10-year Parks and Rec master plan. So I put together a trial survey and ask all of the park board members to take the survey and then provide feedback so that we can go ahead and get that pushed out to the community and get that available so that we can gather information to kind of push forward. So those were the 2 main items. We did go over general programming and a couple of other things, but those were the 2 main things that we discussed at that meeting. So.
Could you give us an update on where we are on Carver Park?
Yeah, I sure can.
Yes.
The playground has been installed. We're waiting for the groundwork, the rock to be laid so that the company can come in and schedule the pour-in-place material underneath the playground. The basketball court lining, the individual should be back next week to the latter part of the week to finish the lining and installation of the basketball goals. We have on-hand benches that we have to install that'll be installed on the basketball court itself as well as surrounding the playground area. We do have new water fountains that will be installed on the front side of the restroom concession building. We also have a water fountain that will be installed near the larger shelter. We have a current water fountain there, so it's going to replace that one. So some of that has been weather dependent. It's kind of pushed us further along.
What about the fencing?
The fencing, we have yet to hear when we're on the schedule for that.
Okay.
We have accepted a price quote and we've requested to be put on the schedule, but I have not got an update on when that will take place.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, you mentioned the groundbreaking there. Very later that day or the next day, when I saw it, there was already stuff there and going on. It was like, that's the fastest groundbreaking I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So that was-
you would think that the playground would be a big convoluted process, but no, they knocked that out
Yeah, I
really
mean,
quickly.
They were there even on Saturday. Was that a contractor putting it in, I guess?
Yes, so
Okay.
we went through playground consultants and they contracted out the labor of that.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. Thank you. I was
thank
like,
you.
wow, that was quick. I would, you don't expect something that quickly.
Another,
Okay, thank
before you move on, I had
Sure.
another. Just want to make council aware of, there's a program going on called Scare Straight, which is trying to get our youth, a program that shows the youth the reality of the choices that they make. And that's going to be at Reverend Jackson's church annex. It's on the May 1st
Friday night.
at 6 p.m. And also, just bring it to our attention, the other community meeting to supporting our children and family, community meeting regarding how we can assist the children and the school system. And that's going to be on Saturday, May 30th at 10 a.m., same location. That's all. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. All right, and then my turn. So for Human Rights Commission has not met since our last council meeting. We are still accepting applications for the Jane Biederman Fike Award. And the other thing we didn't cover when we were talking about the storms is everybody was safe, and that's always paramount. I mean, property can be replaced, trees will grow back, but people can't be replaced very easily, so it's always good to see that. All right, thank you all. Okay, we'll now move on to resolutions. We have Resolution 3608. Councilman Henchy, would you please present that resolution?
Yes, Deputy Mayor. Resolution 3608, rehab of ground storage water tank, project number City of Fulton 26-01. A resolution authorizing the mayor on behalf of the City of Fulton, Missouri, to sign all necessary documents in relation to the contract with Clearwater Coatings LTD for the rehabilitation of the 1,770,000 gallon ground storage water tank number 6, project number City of Fulton 2601. I make a motion to adopt resolution number 3608 at this council meeting.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 3608. Do we have any discussion? I have one question. We have the figure here, and it says it's in the budget. Do we is this above or below our budgeted amount?
We had 1.2 million budgeted for
Okay.
water tank maintenance and well maintenance. So we're under the budget.
All right,
And
awesome.
We received 6 bids, and this is the second to the lowest bid, is what we're recommending.
Okay, you think good contractor?
But the reason we didn't take the low bidder was because they didn't have very much experience.
Understood.
So we took the second bidder, and while the City of Fulton hadn't worked with them, we've been working with B&N inspectors out of St. Louis. They did this south tanks also, inspect them for us, and they had good things to say about them. So we feel confident with the second bidder.
Okay. Is this the tank up by the by Legends Recplex?
No, this is the tank up there by the Auto Museum,
Oh, okay. In the
the green on green tank.
understood. Okay.
is
Thank
that
you.
tank. So that's it. I will point out though that, we've been rebuilding the engineering department, and one of the new engineers, we threw this in his plate, Ryan Young, and he answered all the bidders' questions. He worked with B&N, got the bid out. He worked with Kathy. I think she said he did a good job. So just let y'all know that you got some young folks in engineering too that care. In fact, Ryan wrote me this cheat sheet for you all tonight. They I got used. So I have my cheat sheet with me. But the high bid was 1.4 million. And then we had a 535,000, 888,000, a 1.177, a 784, and an 894. So around that 800,000 should have been a good bid number, throwing out the highs and the lows.
Any other questions for Darrell? All right.
Thank you, Darrell.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Resolution number 3608 is declared passed. All right. We have no ordinance on tonight's agenda. Announcements. Our next city council meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 12th at 6:30 p.m.
I would also like to just give a quick shout out to the Kingdom of Callaway Historical Society and Diane Burry Ludwig. The city was honored to receive an award this past weekend for our preservation efforts and the efforts that went into celebrating the 200 years of Fulton. So we really value them as our community partners. And again, we're very, very honored to receive that award from them this past weekend.
Any other announcements? Okay.
Excuse me. I meant to ask Darrell, what's the outlook on our old city warehouse? Are we doing anything? Somebody in my and the community was asking, are we doing anything with that old warehouse? And what's the latest on the bridge from the college? Yeah. Any update?
Answer the last question first, the bridge, we're still working with the railroad owners, and we think we're near an agreement with the railroad owners as far as crossing that railroad track again with the bridge. And the old warehouse, we're really not doing anything. We did revamp one of the sheds, and we got a deal on some topsoil, and we're always looking for topsoil to fix yards with. So we put some topsoil underneath one of the sheds in there, so when we do fix yards, it'll be dry instead of just a pile of mud. So other than using it for that, I really don't know anything else we're using it for.
Yeah, I would also just point out, there are some ongoing efforts, nothing really that I can give you a definite answer on right now, but we do also have some of those buildings that are privately rented out. So it is still in use there on that site. Mhm.
Thank you. Anything else? All right. We do have need for an executive session under section 610.021 for the following: legal matters, real estate, personnel, and labor negotiation. I'll take a motion to enter executive session.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Madam Clerk, please call the roll to enter executive session.
Yes, Mr. Deputy Mayor. Mr. Cowherd?
Yes.
Ms. Hanson? Mr. Hingy?
Yes.
Ms. Railton? Ms. Reclue? Mr. Washington? Mr. West?
Yes.
Mr. Combs? 8 council members affirmative.
All right. Thank you. We'll enter executive session.